Good Wednesday morning, my dear Christian brother or sister, on another Wednesday that the Lord has blessed us with. I hope that, as always, you are having a productive week, and I hope you're looking forward to a wonderful weekend. But of course, more than anything else, I hope that we are living our very best life in Jesus Christ. Well, this afternoon, we must once again have the sad duty of saying goodbye to another of our dear saints, someone we love and admire. When I think of dear Sister Wilma, I cannot help but remember her joyful smile. And I will miss that smile. It's always brightened my day every time I saw her. You know, as a pastor, I'm called to take this type of thing in stride, but the truth is that I grow ever increasingly weary of saying goodbye. I know that the longer we live on this earth, the more seasons of goodbyes we will experience. It's an unavoidable part of our journey here on earth. Some goodbyes might be temporary, while as others are a little more permanent. And even though we can plan for and anticipate these things, goodbyes are seldom easy or painless. And it doesn't matter whether it's a big goodbye or a small goodbye, whether it's moving to another town or graduating and heading off to college, a job change, a church or ministry transition, a deployment for the military or missional assignment, or the grief of laying a dear loved one to rest. Goodbyes are rarely easy. It always reminds me that Winnie the Pooh, who was a creation by A.A. Milne, always seems to be the optimist about these things. He says, "How lucky I am to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard." If I may paraphrase Pooh, how blessed we are that we have someone that makes saying goodbye so hard. In Acts 20, we have an example of Paul having to say goodbye to his friends and the church leaders in Ephesus. He had been compelled by the Spirit, and he was on his way to Jerusalem. He didn't know what was going to happen to him when he got there. But he had a pretty great idea that it would involve prison and hardship. He was also convinced that this would be the last time he would see his friends here on earth, making this farewell even more sentimental. I'm sure it was a painful goodbye, but this didn't deter him from following the Lord's lead. He said his only aim is to finish the race and complete the task the Lord Jesus has given me, the task of testifying to the good news of God's grace. By the way, that's in Acts 20:24. Though Paul's noble goal in life was to spread the gospel as far as wide as the Lord commissioned him, getting on that boat and waving goodbye must have been pretty painful. He did it because he had what Charles Spurgeon called a gospel worth dying for. But he also wanted to leave some last words, and he told them to be on guard for savage wolves and false prophets. He charges them to remain brave in their journey and faithful to the Lord. Paul's key to being able to move forward in such a hard transition and emotional moment is found in verse 32. He says, "Now I commit you to God and to the word of his grace." Think about that for a minute. This grace and assurance of God's continued presence in our comfort, or is our comfort in any season of farewell. It may not make the moment easier, but it does, if you will, sanctify the moment. You see, when we entrust our loved ones and circumstances to God in the goodbye times, that's a way of bringing Jesus and his sustaining grace into the very center of our lives. This is our demonstration of faith in trusting God as the keeper and guardian over everything, especially in those times of separation. So today, I will remind myself, as we say our final farewells to our beloved sister and friend, that as she trusted God, as she lived joy in her life, and is now in God's safe keeping, so are we all. We're all in God's tender care. Let us remember that he can always be trusted and is ever present in both our joys and our sorrows, even in painful seasons of goodbye, times of weariness, times of difficulty. He's always there to give us strength for today, as well as for all the tomorrows we might have. If there is one thing we know about our dear Sister Wilma Chandler, it is that she had that promise, had that faith, had that grace, and had that peace. You could see it in her smile. I hope you make today a fantastic day. I want you to know that I'm here should you need me. I hope to see everyone this weekend for service. And I want you to know that I'll be thinking of you today. And I truly love you all. Bye-bye.